In Star Wars, the word potential is a very crucial one. Certain characters have the potential to achieve great power and surpass even the strongest of their respective time periods. However, in most cases, this potential is not realized, as these characters' power in some aspects reduces their willingness to train and advance their knowledge. We have seen great examples on both sides, with the far less Force-inclined Obi-Wan Kenobi advancing to one of the most powerful Jedi who have ever lived, with Anakin Skywalker never reaching his potential as a Jedi or a Sith Lord. Before we get into this list, this distinction must be made clear. This list is based on the potential of a character, not the actual power they achieved. This means that almost definitely, some of the most powerful characters will not be featured on this list, while other characters will be. Again, the list is based on the potential of a character, not the actual power they ended up achieving. With that said, let's go ahead and begin. Number 7, Yoda. Although Yoda began his life as a simple merchant, when he was told he was Force sensitive, it was discovered his midichlorian count was substantial. Although there are several other characters whose counts are significantly higher than the Grandmaster's, his aptitude with the Force was the highest among the Jedi Order until the boy Anakin Skywalker was found on Tatooine. In addition to this, Yoda's long life allowed him to better stave off the dark side of the Force, as he held the knowledge he had the time necessary to achieve the power he needed. Even beyond this fact, Yoda never desired power. However, his long life and high Force sensitivity made Yoda perhaps the greatest Jedi Grandmaster who has ever served. Number 6, Darth Sion. Although Sion would not become one of the most powerful Sith Lords ever, his connection to the dark side of the Force was not only strong, but to a terrifying degree, even to the Sith himself. Sion's raw connection was so great that every time the Sith was struck down, the very dark side of the Force would not allow him to die, forcing his ailing body back into the physical realm. Sion's hatred and pain caused this strange Force phenomenon, as these emotions were so relentless and prominent that they forced him back time and time again. In the end, Sion never truly pondered or focused on the deeper aspects of the Force, and never came close to his true potential. However, his connection undoubtedly made him insanely naturally gifted. Number 5, Darth Sidious. Perhaps the most powerful Sith Lord of all time, Sidious appeared to be the perfect storm of the Sith Order. He was born in a time in which the grand plan of the Sith was nearing its completion, as well as being insanely naturally gifted when concerning the Force, especially the darker aspects of it. Upon his meeting with the individual who would become his dark side master, Darth Plagueis, Sidious was able to hide his connection to the Force from the Sith Lord. Later, again without training using the Force, Sidious massacred his entire family. However, unlike most Sith on this list, Sidious was the rare Sith that actually achieved his potential, dedicating his entire being to the Dark Order and their goals, making him the Dark Lord who would again claim the galaxy for the Sith. Number 4, Galen Marek / Starkiller. Starkiller's spot on this list stems from the now famous quote from Darth Sidious in the Force Unleashed game, where he tells Starkiller that one day he has the potential to become the equal of Sidious. At 17 years old, the feats of Starkiller are absolutely insane, even when considering the novelization of the first game. Starkiller was a total grenade when concerning his ability with the Force. Although he lacked understanding of the deeper concepts of the Force, his combative and destructive capabilities were unrivaled by any Jedi or Sith his age. When sensing Starkiller for the first time, Vader believed that he was sensing an experienced Jedi Master, and not a small child. A young Galen Marek, with zero training, even managed to pull Vader's lightsaber from his grasp. Without a doubt, Starkiller held immense potential, even defeating Darth Vader in single combat, and for a time matching the raw power of the Emperor, again, all achieved at 17 years of age. Number 3, Darth Nihilus. Nihilus was very similar to the aforementioned Darth Sion. Nihilus's aptitude with the dark side is a unique one, not stemming from his birth, but by being on the receiving end of the mass shadow generator. What this did to Nihilus is give him unsettling capability with Force Drain, so much so that he could destroy planets and potentially kill millions of people with this ability alone. While this ability granted the Sith great power, it also hindered him, as his hunger was never ending. The more he fed, the more he desired. Near the end of his life, Nihilus and others came to the realization he would never stop until the entire galaxy had been devoured. This fascination and again obsession with feeding made studying the Force and its doctrine a difficult task for the Sith, as his concentration lied elsewhere all of the time. In truth, Nihilus was nothing but average in his other powers, and even in his lightsaber combat, relying almost completely on his admittedly impressive but limited capabilities. If Nihilus were able to overcome this, however, he may have achieved a command over the dark side not thought possible, perhaps fully becoming an entity of the dark side with the potential of Abeloth or the Ones. But again, the key word here is always potential. Number 2, Luke Skywalker. As the son of the Chosen One, Luke Skywalker received much, if not all of the inherent power that his father had. Because of his relation to a child born purely out of the Force, Luke held the second strongest raw connection to it in galactic history. Unlike his father, in Legends, Luke largely reached the potential his father would ultimately fail to, displaying the ability to, while still living, join with the Force, in an ability called Oneness. Luke also progressed academically when concerning Jedi doctrine and the Force, creating much of his own teachings that would survive for generations. As stated by the creator of Star Wars himself, when concerning Legends continuity, Luke Skywalker is the most powerful Jedi who has ever lived. Number 1, Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. Although Anakin would never achieve his potential, he certainly had the natural ability to become the most powerful Force user in galactic history. Anakin, in canon, showed the ability to subdue the Ones, and despite never achieving the rank of Master, was without a doubt one of the most combatively brilliant Jedi ever. After becoming Darth Vader, the potential was progressed far more than as Anakin Skywalker, as despite extensive injuries and missing all his limbs, Vader advanced to become one of the finest lightsaber duelists ever, and a terrifying yet creative wielder of the dark side of the Force. Darth Vader lacked the physical ability he had as Anakin Skywalker, but Anakin lacked the drive and determination of Darth Vader. It has been hypothesized that if Anakin or Vader had achieved his potential, he could have simultaneously defeated both Sidious and Yoda, both featured on this list. In the end though, many of these characters never reached their potential, as others with more drive were able to surpass them. Something I've always loved about Star Wars is that in many cases, the more inherently or potentially powerful character can very likely lose if their opponent has worked harder or is better prepared. Again, many insanely powerful characters are missing from this list, as this highlights pure potential, not achieved potential, as characters like Bane or Crate were very powerful, but above all, worked and focused on their respective dark side doctrine, and that is what made them truly dangerous and gifted. But I would love to hear your opinions on many of these characters. Who do you think is the most potentially powerful character within Star Wars, and what is your top 5? If you enjoyed the video and feel it deserves it, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like, as it helps the channel out a great deal. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing to ensure you stay up to date with everything Star Wars related, from news, theories, and of course, explanation videos. If you have suggestions for future videos, you can leave them in the comments, as I do check them often. If you have other suggestions or topics you want to see explored, you can follow me on Twitter at Stupendous Wave, as that is probably the best place to reach me. Thanks so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.